is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Subdate 210812.6. We have managed to clear around 85% of the Suliban, so I've docked my shuttle pod, and will use some quantum torpedoes to clear the Antifa blockade in the opposite direction. I'm kinda wondering if my engines can run on soy and beta blood. Oh, and a dead meme. Welcome everyone, and yes, we're back on our ship to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we're gonna start with periods. Not my favourite discussion to be had, but this one does lead to an interesting topic at least. So for this story we go to India, to the state of Uttar Pradesh, where a campaign has begun to grant female teachers 3 days of menstrual leave every month. Now there are reasons for this, and those reasons can actually be addressed. Many of these teachers who travel to these locations in the northern state of India have to go 20 to 30 kilometers. Unlike local teachers, they don't have access to their own bathroom, which is one of the problems. Now you could say, why don't you just relocate? It's an option. I'm sure many have explored it and decided, no, 3 days off is actually preferable. Others point out that because the schools themselves have bathrooms, they should use them, to which the teachers have said, we could, but unfortunately no one can use them because, even for sentient life, they are inhospitable, uninhabitable, unsittable, unusable. Any and all of those words apply here because they don't get cleaned on a regular basis and because the students that use them annihilate them. Now there are many areas you can certainly probe with that. My view is when we teach children here, wipe the blasted thing down when you're done with it. I don't need your pee or your poop on the toilet seat, toilet bowl, stuck around the inside and outside of the toilet bowl itself. Hell, up the wall, on the floor. Starting young and teaching basic hygiene is important. And if you do that now, then people won't need 3 days off to deal with their periods. And I say need, you don't need it, you want it. But there is a thing here. There are over 200,000 female teaching staff working in 168,000 government-run schools in India. That is a lot of people. That is also a lot of schools. More than 70% of female staff, so of that 200,000 plus people, are stationed in villages, and it is these villages where these issues arise. Do they need 3 days off? No, they just need basic hygiene. Or to get a cleaner who does their blasted job. What I find the most amusing is that people believe because of the villages, somehow teachers should have 3 days off. The issue here is, if you have those 3 days off and you're being stationed 30 to 60 kilometers away from where you live, who takes your place? It's not going to solve the problem, is it? It also implies that women are weaker and unfit for a workspace. I say implies, I'm basically restating mentioned in an article where they do actually mention debates had on this, whether or not it is progressive or demeaning. So to move on from that, I'm going to do one last subject on the Olympics. One last one for this one anyway. At the Tokyo Olympics, there is one man above all else, who has been championed as the single biggest dickhead in the entire competition. That man's name is Mohad Amdouni, a Frenchman, which now makes complete sense. While he has won the gold medal at being the biggest dickhead of the Tokyo Olympics, he did not podium in the slightest in his category, finishing outside the top 10. But how is he, Mohad Amdouni, the Frenchman, the single biggest dickhead of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics? In a 26-mile race, so a marathon essentially, he decided to, while collecting water at the end of a row of water bottles, to knock over every single bottle before he got to the last one which he took, which meant racers and runners near him would have to stoop down and pick one up, or get one from someone else who was able to give them a bottle of water. And I say that because you can't just take one off a member of public, because there's a risk of drugs here, yo. Meaning, Mohad Amdouni intentionally made it so others could not get hydrated via agua. Is this a breach of the rules? Not really. Is he cheating? A little. Did it help him? He finished 14th. Clearly, it did not help him in the slightest. Do yourself a favor, Morhad Amdouni, and please enjoy your gold medal for being the Tokyo Olympics' biggest dickhead. People are debating this, by the way, much like the period break idea, citing that there was in fact a water station just ahead. I don't think it takes away from the point that he's still a dickhead. I think we can all agree here. This song best exemplifies So next we're going to talk about Lent. 2 people sent this topic to me, thank you for that. I think we can all agree here this topic was undoubtedly going to feature in this video. If you didn't hear about it, you must be under a rock. This subject was everywhere, and it's hilarious. For those who don't know what Lent is, the premise is you give up something for Lent. I think that's what, a few days, 40 days? A period of time where you don't do the thing you have claimed to give up. Well, for this we now insert Ksenia, and I can't pronounce your last name, you're Russian. And I might have even mispronounced your first name. So let's call you Russian Lady Number 1. Russian Lady Number 1 has filed a lawsuit, not a lawsuit, a lawsuit, because her Lent was harmed, meaning she's a bad Christian. Why? Because she gave up something quite important to her. For 40 days she did her best in 2019 to make sure she did not touch this particular food item that she loves so much. That would be meat. So for 40 days she tried vegetarianism, but she failed, so it wasn't 40 days in the slightest. In fact, she had cited that the reason why, which has led to the lawsuit, is because McDonald's marketing made it impossible. So when she went through the city centre of Omsk, she saw a promotion for cheeseburgers and McNuggets, and couldn't resist any longer. So she got herself a cheeseburger, like a good cat. Russian Lady Number 1 claimed that she just couldn't hold back, which tells me more about her satiety. Chances are, she didn't do the research required to make sure when she took this on, this challenge, she had the right foods in other areas to ensure that she didn't receive or go through hunger pangs, and to make sure that the cravings were, let's say, lessened, or perhaps just practice some bloody discipline. Who on earth wants to eat Manky D? That stuff is trash. You are literally eating something that will look the same going out. Honestly, gherkin and all. To our final subject. We can trace this subject back to 2012, with Leonardo DiCaprio being outed as somebody who does not on a regular basis bathe. More recently, the newest additions to this ridiculous trend of not bathing, and especially considering the pandemic, people are talking a bit more about how hygienic and healthy people are. We can insert Jake Gyllenhaal and Ashton Dirty Kutcher. Jake Dirty Gyllenhaal believes that good manners and bad breath get you nowhere, so he does that. But he also believes that a whole world of not bathing is really helpful for skin maintenance, and we naturally clean ourselves anyway. Yes, I myself from time to time like nothing more than to strip stark bollock naked, lift up one leg, and lick my own nuts. I can't finish this. I've tried 6 times. I'm not a cat. Oh dear. For the likes of Ashton Dirty Cooch, it's actually something simpler for his kids. He considers bathing them a privilege. So them being able to bathe is, a part of that whole privilege system, and that soap is bad for the environment. This was admitted on Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, with him saying that if you can see dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there is simply no point. There was also discussion about soap. Clearly you haven't found the right soap. Other arguments about it being environmentally friendly when it comes to bathing. If you want, you can go down to a stream if you like, and get some incredibly eco-friendly stuff, or we could just bring back bathhouses. I'm all in favour of that. Let's get the bathhouses rolling again. As long as you keep your stinky balls away from the rest of us and your bad breath, okay? And any dirt under your fingernails. You filthy rich peasants. Dirty cooch. Anyway, as we're done, I'd like to know what you all think. Please drive up the engagement by smashing the like and letting me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you on Twitch tonight for more murder fun time, where I'll probably fail miserably and complain about it, because I'm a boomer, I hope you'll have a fantastic Thursday, and thank you all very much for listening.